0513 local time. The ocean lies perfectly calm. The air barely moves. Inside the carrier's combat information center, the steady rhythm of passive sonar fills the room like a quiet heartbeat. Green traces slide across dark screens. The watch is routine. Nothing appears out of place. Then the sound changes. A sharp spike breaks through the background noise, brief, unnatural, impossible to ignore. Transient. The word is spoken softly, but everyone hears it. The sonar operator leans closer, eyes fixed on the display. This contact does not move like marine life. It does not drift with the water. It gains speed. Another update comes in. New high-speed contact bearing 274. No sirens, no flashing lights, just calm voices and controlled movements. The operator adjusts the filters and the signal becomes clearer. A clean acoustic pattern forms on the screen. Mechanical, balanced, intentional. Then the words arrive. Torpedo in the water. The room changes instantly, not into panic. Into focus. Screens refresh at once. The contact speed jumps. Its depth steadies. The bearing remains firm. Someone confirms it in a flat, almost clinical tone. Torpedo launch confirmed. High above, on the bridge, the carrier continues on course. From the outside, nothing seems different. No sudden turn, no visible reaction. 80,000 tons of steel keep moving forward, cutting a white line through the blue surface. But below deck, the clock has already started. The tactical display redraws itself. A red vector stretches from a dark point beneath the surface, aimed directly at the ship. Range is closing. Estimated time to intercept, under 7 minutes. No one needs an announcement. No one needs a warning tone. Every person in that room understands what the numbers mean. This is real. The sonar operator keeps reporting. Voice steady. Active guidance suspected. That detail matters. This is not a simple straight-running system. It is listening. It is adjusting. The officer of the watch does not raise his voice. Condition 1. Anti-submarine warfare. The order moves through the carrier faster than sound itself. Down on the flight deck, sailors pause mid-step. Aircraft crews stop with their hands still on panels. The only sounds above are turbines, wind, and distant water. No one runs. Inside CIC, more data appears. Environmental clutter is stripped away until only the essential track remains. The torpedo's path is clean. Its speed is steady. Its intent is clear. The bearing does not shift. It wants the carrier. The captain enters without ceremony. He does not ask for a summary. He looks at the display, studies the track, and gives a single nod. Maintain course. The order feels heavier than any shouted command. Holding course is not hesitation. It is geometry. A sudden maneuver too early could give the torpedo an easier solution, especially if it is already locked onto the carrier's movement. So the carrier stays steady. The torpedo accelerates again, speed increasing, depth steady. At another console, a watchstander marks the water column. The acoustic profile suggests a heavyweight design, long endurance built for large surface targets. Another update. Closing fast. 6 minutes. The room stays quiet except for voices and keys. Every word is exact. Every second is recorded. Then the torpedo's seeker goes active. A new sound appears in the headphones. Faint, sharp, unmistakable. A high-frequency pulse searching through the water. Active ping detected. That is the moment when doubt disappears. This system is no longer just tracking. It is committed. Still, the carrier does not turn. Outside, the horizon looks exactly as it did 5 minutes earlier. Sunlight flashes across the water. The sky remains empty, but inside the ship, the ocean has become a battlefield measured in meters and seconds. The tactical plot updates again. The red vector creeps closer. Calculations refine automatically. 5 minutes. The captain speaks again. Prepare countermeasures. Stand by. Not yet. The torpedo corrects once more, adjusting toward the carrier's wake pattern. It is learning. It is closing. The sonar operator breathes out slowly. No decoys deployed. Holding, and everyone in the room understands why. Deploy them too early, and the incoming system may adjust. Wait too long, and there may not be another opportunity. This is the razor-thin line where training ends and judgment takes over. 4 minutes. The carrier still holds her course. Somewhere beneath the surface, steel is racing toward steel, guided by sound, speed, and intention. And in the next few moments, counted not in minutes but in heartbeats, everything is about to shift. 0516 local time. The torpedo is still running. Inside the Combat Information Center, the tactical picture tightens. The red vector remains steady, but now something else begins to appear. At first, it is barely visible beneath the ocean's background noise. Then it becomes impossible to ignore. New contact. The sonar operator's voice stays calm. Low frequency. Slow mover. No one asks what it could be. Everyone in the room already understands what it likely means. The system starts stripping away the layers, thermal distortion, marine noise, background clutter, until one acoustic fingerprint remains. long cylindrical movement. Propulsion pulses spaced with exact precision. The room seems to lean toward the screens. Possible launch platform developing. That changes everything. The torpedo is no longer only a danger, it is also a trail. Track the incoming system, and you may be able to trace it back to where it began. The fire control team overlays the torpedo's path with possible launch angles. The geometry narrows. A shaded cone forms on the display, an invisible funnel pointing backward into the deep. There. The word is spoken quietly. A single point begins to stabilize at the cone's apex. Range, several thousand yards. Depth, well below the thermal layer. Speed, minimal. It is hiding. The torpedo updates again, shifting slightly toward the carrier's wake. Its seeker is still working. The distance keeps shrinking. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. The captain studies the display. No drama, no wasted motion. Launch the helicopter! Above deck, rotor blades begin to spin. Their sound rolls across the water. Low, heavy, unmistakable. A helicopter lifts from the flight deck and angles away from the carrier, nose down, moving fast toward the shaded cone on the plot. Inside CIC, attention splits between two battles. One contact is closing in, the other is being hunted. The helicopter crew says little, they do not need to. Their route is already being shaped by the data streaming up from the ship. Dipping sonar in 2 minutes, comes the calm call over the net. The torpedo pings again, louder this time. Active guidance confirmed. The room accepts the update without reaction. Then the carrier finally changes something. Not a hard turn. Not yet. Her speed increases slightly, just enough to alter the acoustic picture without giving away panic. The wake thickens. The water behind the ship becomes more complex, more chaotic, harder to read. The torpedo responds. Contact corrected, sonar reports. Still locked. No relief, no frustration, only information. 3 minutes. The helicopter reaches station and drops into a low hover, almost skimming the surface. A cable lowers. The sonar dome slips beneath the waves. Everyone waits. Seconds stretch. Then the call comes. Contact, solid return. Bearing matches shooter estimate. The shaded cone on the display collapses into a dot. This is him, someone says under their breath. The submarine does not maneuver. It does not sprint away. It does not dive deeper. That is a choice. It is listening. It is waiting to learn whether its first move succeeds before committing to escape. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. The torpedo's speed remains constant. Its course remains aggressive. It moves with confidence. Inside CIC, another option flashes on the board. Countermeasures ready. Decoys standing by. Everything is prepared. Still, they wait. The helicopter refines the fix. The sonar image sharpens. Confirmed submarine contact, no change in speed. That detail hits hard. A submarine that stays still after launching is not careless. It is deliberate. It believes the solution is good. The captain's voice cuts through the room. Shift priority. Shooter is now primary. That is the turning point. The carrier is still in danger, but the logic has changed. The real concern is no longer only the torpedo closing the distance. It is the platform beneath the water, the one that may still have another chance to act. 2 minutes. The helicopter circles once, tight and controlled, keeping its sonar locked on the contact. The submarine's acoustic signature becomes clearer with every pass. Propulsion type, shaft rhythm, small mechanical details that were hidden seconds ago are now being captured, logged, and compared. The torpedo pings again, closer now. The tactical plot updates in real time. The red vector edges toward the carrier's defensive zone. The blue marker over the submarine remains steady. 2 tracks, 2 timelines, both moving toward a decision point. One of them is about to be broken. Stand by, the captain says. For a moment, the room seems to stop breathing. 2 hunters, 1 target each. Only seconds left before one side makes a final mistake. 05:19 local time. The torpedo crosses another range ring. Inside the Tactical Information Center, the geometry has narrowed into a tight corridor. The incoming system is no longer searching. It is driving forward with purpose, steady, and committed. Prepare decoys, the tactical action officer says. The order moves through the room without rush. Rush wastes time. Precision saves it. On the main display, the carrier's projected wake spreads behind her, a shifting acoustic cloud shaped by speed, weight, and sea conditions. The torpedo's seeker rides along the edge of that disturbance, making small, exact corrections as it closes in. Deploy! Behind the carrier, countermeasures slip into the water. Quiet, controlled, time to the second. They bloom in the ship's wake, creating false acoustic targets, synthetic signatures designed to distract, attract, and pull the torpedo away from the carrier's true path. For a brief moment, it works. The torpedo hesitates, its track wavers. The red vector bends slightly toward the decoys. Track turning, sonar reports. No one reacts. No one celebrates. They wait. The carrier holds her course. The helicopter stays low over the water, sonar locked onto the submarine below. Its rotors hammer the air in a steady, heavy rhythm. Then the torpedo changes again. Correction, sonar says. It's reacquiring. The red line snaps back toward the carrier's real wake. The decoys have been rejected. That is the difference between a plan on paper and a real contact in the water. This system is not simply following noise, it is comparing, filtering, deciding. Countermeasures ineffective. The watchstander says it without surprise. Only confirmation. 1 minute, 50 seconds. The torpedo increases speed slightly, making up for the delay. Its seeker pings again, stronger now, sharper than before. Inside the room, the silence deepens. Not fear, focus. Everyone understands exactly where the margin is and how quickly it is disappearing. The helicopter crew adjusts position. Launch platform remains steady, the sensor operator reports. No major maneuver. That detail matters. The submarine is still listening, still waiting. It has not fully committed to leaving the area. It believes its first move will succeed. The captain steps closer to the main display. Helicopter, he says calmly. Classify the launch platform as confirmed threat. Prepare to act. There it is. No dramatic language, no extra words, just a clean shift in intent. The helicopter answers with one word. Roger. 1 minute, 30 seconds. The torpedo is now inside the carrier's inner defensive geometry. The ship finally begins to maneuver. Not sharply, not wildly, decisively. The bow swings just enough to break symmetry. Speed increases again. The wake thickens, curls, and fractures into a more chaotic pattern. The torpedo reacts instantly. Track correcting, sonar calls. Depth change observed. It is working harder now, spending energy, making faster choices, but it is still coming. Inside the tactical center, another track begins to matter more with every second. The submarine's signature grows clearer as the helicopter maintains contact. Its propulsor rhythm is logged. Its acoustic profile is clean, controlled, disciplined. Then something changes. Source noise increasing. The helicopter reports. The submarine has made its first real move. It is moving. Not fast, not yet, but enough. It knows it has been found. 1 minute. The torpedo remains the closest danger, but the balance is shifting. The submarine can no longer assume it will slip away cleanly after the launch. The captain's voice stays level. Move on the launch platform. The order does not erase the inbound threat. It changes the shape of the fight. The helicopter begins its run, positioning with care, never breaking sonar contact. The submarine reacts late. Too late, making a shallow turn as it tries to slide sideways out of the acoustic cone. That choice works against it. The movement sharpens its signature instead of hiding it. Contact solid, the helicopter reports. Tracking maintained. 30 seconds. The torpedo pings again, louder now, closer. Inside CIC, no one looks away. Then the call comes. Track losing stability, sonar reports. Erratic corrections. The carrier's maneuver, combined with the increasingly broken wake behind her, is starting to ruin the torpedo's solution. It is spending energy chasing an acoustic picture that keeps changing faster than it can solve. 15 seconds. The helicopter commits. Below the surface, the submarine hears the change. New sounds, new pressure in the water, a clear shift in intent. The torpedo breaks its line one last time, overcorrects, and slips off the carrier's true path. Lost lock, sonar says. The red vector fractures, then fades from the display. The immediate threat is gone, but no one relaxes. Because now the submarine understands the same thing everyone in CIC already knows. The hunter has become the target. 0521 local time. The torpedo is no longer a factor. That reality settles across the Combat Information Center without celebration. No one says it out loud. The red track is gone, but the room does not breathe easier. The launch platform is still there. On the tactical display, the submarine's marker begins to drift. Slowly at first, then with more purpose. Launch platform maneuvering, the sonar operator reports. Bearing shift southeast. That is the first clear admission from below the surface. The submarine is trying to leave, not in a panic, not at full speed. Just enough movement to slip away, break contact, and disappear back into depth and noise. It will not be that simple. The helicopter tightens its orbit, drops lower, and keeps the sonar dome steady beneath the surface. Every return comes back cleaner now, strengthened by the submarine's own movement. Contact improving, the sensor operator says. Cavitation starting. That is the sound no submarine wants to give away. It is pushing harder now, trading silence for speed. The ocean punishes that decision immediately. Inside CIC, the plot redraws. The submarine's escape path becomes visible, predictable, contained. Farther out, the carrier's escorts increase speed, spreading wide to close off open water. Their movement is coordinated and controlled. No wasted motion, no noise in the decision-making. This is no longer just defense, it is containment. The captain watches the geometry form on the screen. "Keep pressure," he says. "Don't rush." The helicopter adjusts again, shifting just enough to stay ahead of the submarine's path. The sonar picture sharpens into clarity, hull length, propulsion rhythm, depth profile. The submarine turns harder now, trying to break out of the sonar cone. It fails. "Hard turn from the launch platform," the helicopter reports. "Contact maintained." Every move the submarine makes costs it more silence, more exposure, more data. Then it dives. Depth increases quickly as it tries to trade speed for cover. Pressure builds around the hull. Thermal layers stack thick and cold between the submarine and the surface. For a moment, the contact weakens. Then it returns. "Reacquired," the helicopter says calmly. "Still tracking." The ocean does not let go that easily. The captain gives a single nod. "Proceed." No explanation is needed. The helicopter steadies, then commits. A response package drops cleanly into the water. No drama, no rush. It slips beneath the surface and begins its quiet run. Inside CIC, 2 tracks now dominate the display. One fleeing, one following. The submarine hears it almost at once. Its propulsion spikes. Cavitation blooms hard through the water column, echoing louder with every second. The escape is no longer controlled. It has turned urgent. The submarine turns again, sharper this time, trying to outrun the geometry closing around it. But there is nowhere clean to go. The pursuing system adjusts with cold precision, matching every move, correcting without hesitation. The distance between them collapses. On the surface, the carrier maintains course, calm and steady, already fading back into the background of the engagement. This is no longer only about protecting the ship. It is about delivering a message beneath the waves. "Launch platform slowing," sonar reports. "Movement irregular." The submarine is running out of choices. Then, suddenly, almost nothing. The contact stutters. It fragments. It dissolves into the surrounding noise. The clean propulsion rhythm breaks apart, replaced by scattered echoes that no longer match controlled movement. The room remains silent. No one confirms too early. No one guesses. No one fills the space with words. Seconds pass. Then the helicopter reports again. "Launch platform no longer maneuvering." That is all. The surface ships reduce speed slightly, holding their positions and watching the water where the submarine last appeared on the plot. No additional sonar calls chase it. No further action follows. The message has already been sent. Inside CIC, the display begins to clear. One track gone. One threat removed from the equation. Not announced, not dramatized, simply handled. The captain turns away from the screen. "Resume posture," he says. The carrier eases back into her original heading. Engines remain steady. The wake smooths behind her, returning to a clean white line across the blue surface. Above deck, aircraft crews begin moving again. Hands return to panels. Routines restart with quiet discipline, as if nothing had interrupted them. Below the surface, the ocean closes over the last disturbance. No debris rises, no signal follows, only silence. And in this world, silence is rarely random. 05:26 local time. The ocean returns to routine. On the carrier's bridge, the horizon looks unchanged. Flat water, pale light. Nothing on the surface suggests what passed beneath it only minutes earlier. The ship holds steady on her original course. Engines settle back into cruise. The wake narrows behind her, bright and clean. Inside the Combat Information Center, the mood is controlled and methodical. No one celebrates. No one begins a loud debrief. They record. Timestamps are entered, bearings are saved, acoustic files are copied and secured. Every second of the encounter is preserved exactly as it happened. No emotion, no interpretation, only facts. The sonar operator keeps listening, sweeping the same stretch of water where the submarine was last detected. In the headphones, there is nothing now but the natural voice of the ocean. Distant currents, scattered marine noise, and the slow, endless breathing of the sea. "Launch platform remains silent," he says. "It is not relief, it is confirmation." The helicopter circles once more, wide and deliberate, then climbs and turns back toward the carrier. Its task is complete. No damage reports, no urgency in the voice, just procedure. On the flight deck, the helicopter settles back onto steel as smoothly as it left. Chocks go in, rotors begin to slow, sailors move in close, already resetting the aircraft for whatever the next call may bring. Below deck, the carrier's systems step down one by one from combat posture back to watch status. Screens soften, alerts clear, the tempo eases, but nothing is dismissed. At the edge of CIC, the captain stands in silence, eyes fixed on the cleared display. Minutes ago, the screen had been filled with converging tracks, closing angles, and decisions measured in seconds. Now there is only empty water. One incoming threat, one measured response. No follow-up contacts, no second launch, no further movement from below. The ocean has accepted the result. A final sweep confirms it. No additional contacts, sonar reports. The words are entered into the log exactly as spoken. No decoration, no emotion, just the record. Above the waterline, there is no announcement, no broadcast, no visible proof for anyone beyond the ship's crew. The carrier does not increase speed to make a statement. It does not send aircraft into the sky for effect. It does not remain in place. It simply continues. That is the message. At sea, absence can mean more than presence. Silence can carry farther than noise, and restraint, when backed by real capability, can speak with more weight than any open display. Somewhere beneath the surface, the submarine is no longer part of the situation. Whether it is damaged, withdrawing, or simply lying still in silence no longer changes the outcome. What matters is this: it is gone, and it did not act again. Inside CIC, a junior watchstander checks the clock and records the final line of the event. The entry closes without drama, without explanation, almost disappearing among the rest of the data. Inbound threat defeated. Launch platform neutralized. Carrier mission uninterrupted. That is all. No adjectives, no conclusions. The carrier moves on, unchallenged and unchanged in direction or purpose. Behind her, the ocean smooths itself out, erasing the wake, absorbing the sound, rebuilding the illusion that nothing ever happened here. But below the surface, the lesson remains. One system was launched, it never reached its target. And the platform that released it did not control how the day ended. Out here, nothing more needs to be said.